Namaskar, hello and welcome to Sansad TV. I am Namrata Singh and you're watching Perspective. Donald Trump has become the 47th President of the United States, securing both the popular vote and the 270 electoral votes needed to win. Trump's opponent Kamala Harris secured 226 electoral votes, while Trump surged ahead with 295, crossing the majority mark. He becomes only the second Republican in 20 years to secure a second term in office. His remarkable comeback was fueled by victories across key swing states. In his victory speech, Trump pledged to heal the nation and usher in a golden age for the United States. Following his win, leaders worldwide have extended congratulations, applauding his historic achievement. With Trump crossing the 270 threshold of 538 electoral votes, Republicans have also gained control of the US Senate. In this edition of Perspective, we will explore how Trump clinched the Electoral College, what a second Trump administration may look like, and the potential implications for India and for the world. To discuss this and much more, I'm joined by a very eminent panel of guests. I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Manish Dabhade, Associate Professor at the School of International Studies, and J.K. Tripathi, former ambassador. Pleasure to have you both on the show, sir. Let me begin the discussion with you, Ambassador Tripathi. Donald Trump has won the 2024 US presidential election, significantly boosting his share of the popular vote and even strengthening Republican support in traditionally Democratic strongholds like Virginia and New York. What factors contributed to his remarkable win, sir?
Well, you see, the factors behind Trump's landslide victory this time were quite a lot. One was that illegal immigration, against which Trump started batting in his campaign. The second was his slogan, America First, and making America golden country, or making America great again. Thirdly, you see, the joblessness, the loss of jobs, the loss of the dwindling economy, because American economy, though it's growing, but not at the rate at which it was supposed to. So those two things, plus sealing the borders with Mexico so that illegal immigration is curtailed, then inflation. So all these things mattered in Trump's campaign. And then overall, surprisingly, this time Trump was supported by the legal immigrants, and legal immigrants in Latinos and blacks also. Last day, blacks turned their tide towards Trump. So this was probably surprising for Kamala Harris, and I think Democrats will have to do a postmortem of this, rethinking of their policy. But these are the factors which helped Trump secure a victory with such a good margin. Yes, Namrata.
Okay, sir. Professor, so this time Trump's success was largely driven by he swept all the 7 swing states. He secured victory in Pennsylvania, then Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona, a critical border state, was one of the key that played the decisive role. Do you think that Trump's tough stand on immigration helped him, particularly in states along the border?
Absolutely. I think if you look at what were the top concerns amongst the American electorate, economy number one and immigration number two. So I mean, if you look at the really the historic mandate in that sense, which the Trump as a candidate got, I think is unprecedented, and it is not confined only to the electoral votes, the Electoral College. It is also really a popular mandate for Trump, and immigration obviously, in fact, this issue really hit not just the traditional white voters, but also the Latinos, the blacks, voters of color. I think all of them were extremely worried that, at some level illegal immigration needs to be curtailed, needs to be stopped. And in fact, Kamala Harris, the opponent, was seen, the challenger to and the incumbent in that sense, challenger to President Trump, was seen as soft on illegal immigration. So I think that really tilted the scales in favor of candidate Trump.
Okay. So, Ambassador Tripathi, some argue that Kamala Harris wasn't given enough time to build a strong campaign, as Joe Biden held off his decision to step aside until late in the race. Others believe that Democrats wasted too much time on Donald Trump rather than shaping a clear vision of their own. In your view, what went wrong for Kamala Harris in this election?
Well, you see, in fact, nothing went wrong except that you are right that selection was announced very late, sometimes in October, and though it was a known secret that Kamala Harris is at the end of it, Kamala Harris is going to be announced in the primary, the first the official candidate, but Kamala Harris unfortunately carried a baggage of Biden, and that baggage was the policy towards Israel, policy towards Russia-Ukraine war, policy towards the immigrants. So this baggage, Kamala Harris didn't have much time to come of her own personality, and that is what harmed Kamala. And Kamala was instead she was campaigning about women's right, about abortion, right of abortion, etc. But Trump really played a trump card few days back when he said that Hindus, I stand for Hindus, and Hindus and atrocities committed against Hindus in Bangladesh are deplorable, and I am against it. So this touch took quite a big chunk of Hindu voters. Mind you, there are 25 lakh voters of Indian origin, and out of that about 20 lakh are Hindus. So this lot of Hindus, they turned their side towards Donald Trump. So that was one thing, and some of the bordering states, southern states, they voted for Trump, especially where there were quite a lot of Muslim population. So Kamala didn't. To me, it appears that Kamala Harris did not put her points in order of priority, and somewhere down the campaign she lost it, and she started taking up smaller issues than the bigger ones. And people started telling that she was there for 4 years, she was vice president, why didn't she do anything about it? But yes, as everybody knows, the vice president of America doesn't have any power except that when president demits the office, he or she becomes president for the remaining term. So these are the factors which went against Kamala. But yes, now they have time to rethink.
Okay, sir. Republican, won the strongholds of Democrats, sweeping all the swing states. What do you have to say on that, sir?
Yes, out of all the 7 states, I think the last election Biden took 6, and this election Trump took all the 7 states,
right, sir.
Which was decisive because voting was done as on the party lines in in the states which were naturally known for those parties. But the swing states did the trick for Trump.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So, Professor, immigration is one of the major factors. Then there is economy, then there is inflation. So, in your opinion, what are the major factors that drove voters' decision this time towards Trump?
Yeah, I think Trump, in fact, came to be seen as Mr. Fix-It. So Trump will fix it. That was his, in fact, campaign slogan. And especially on economy really rated at the top of, as I said, on the voters' minds. And he came out with his own, Trump 1.0 data that ultimately you had soaring stock markets, the unemployment rates were at their historic lows, the inflation was manageable, and look at what, in fact, the Biden administration had done. So Biden actually, completely failed on all those economic targets, and there was in fact, why Trump succeeded. I think the most important reason is cutting across, the divides, the political divides. The working classes especially felt that they were really being left behind, and Kamala Harris didn't come up with any alternative grand narrative, especially on the economic issues, on issues that mattered to most Americans. And I think that is what exactly clinched the decision of the voters in favor of Trump, that actually he was looking at, and this whole, ultimately it really clicked about inclusive nationalism, about MAGA, Make America Great Again. And what was he? He was offering some genuine new ways out of the economic sort of problems which the larger voter base of middle class or lower income working class Americans were facing. So I think that really clinched the issue for Trump.
Right, sir. So, Ambassador Tripathi, even though inflation was a worldwide problem, but the economy was a major concern for the American voters, and many felt that Biden administration had not done enough to address it. Do you think Donald Trump seems to have tapped into this effectively?
Yes, I think now Trump will, going by the victory speech of Trump yesterday, it seems that he will try to address those issues which Biden administration could not. Though he had been saying that if elected, I will stop the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours, but all that is exaggeration. However, in the speech, he was surprisingly very sober, very balanced. And though he repeated India, this will be America will be made great again. America will be golden. America will have great golden future.
Age.
All that, and he also said that he will try to stop Russia-Ukraine war and elsewhere, but he did not mention clearly. He did not name Israel. Which shows that America's policy towards Israel and Lebanon will remain more or less the same. Though, because certainly if he tries to control Israel, certainly it will give an upper hand to Iran, which is fighting a proxy war against Israel. So the other thing is, he said legal immigrants are welcome. Illegals will not be welcome. No good person, no bad person. Persons who are not good, especially use the word. Persons who are not good will not be allowed to stay in USA. So these things, other things like protectionist attitude, that will remain. That will be there, and that will be more vociferous now. More strict restrictions will be made on foreign imports, etc. But by and large, I think on major systems, policies will remain same, especially foreign policy, because as you know, this election was not fought on the basis of foreign policy. Foreign policy hardly matters to Americans. What matters to Americans is the domestic problems, domestic issues. And as far as foreign policy is concerned, they only want that American soldiers should not be sent back in body bags, which all the both sides, administrations of both sides, try to ensure. So, what he will focus? He will focus on the domestic issues, immigration, unemployment, protectionist issues like like uh, America first, made in America type slogan. So and certainly he is going to be tougher than Biden with China,
Okay.
which certainly, which means that despite the growing trade between USA and China, if Trump shows a tougher attitude towards China, tougher stance towards China, that means reduction of Chinese export to USA, and which will open a small window for India. So that can be a better thing. And then Trump's policy against the terrorism.
Right, sir.
That is going to benefit us, I suppose.
Right, sir. Republicans are now in control of the House, both the Senate as well as the House of Representatives. What impact will this have on Trump's agenda moving forward?
Well, I think it shows that there is a domestic consensus now on Trumpian policies. And again, as Ambassador pointed out, it would be largely focused more on the domestic agenda, be it, and in fact Trump has already declared that he is going to have the largest deportation program ever in American history, and the figures in fact are going from 10 million deportations to as high as 25 million. But I think it is really going to be about jobs, and so all the energies of the incoming Trump administration would be focused on generating more jobs. So it obviously would include I mean imposing tariffs, going as high as 60% tariffs on the Chinese products, goods and services, and almost the figures are around 15 to 20% on all American friends and allies and other adversaries also. So I think Trump is coming a very clear focused domestic agenda, and with so much sort of he would now have the political capital because of America in fact turning red in many ways because of the popular vote he has got, because of the control of the presidency now, because of the control of both the House and the Senate.
Right.
So I think that is really going to make him a very formidable political force, unlike Trump 1.0, who was also shackled by the limitations of the political support which he had in the Congress. And also in many ways I think it is going to be a very experienced Trump now, which was not the case in Trump 1.0. I think he has come now fully prepared with a solid domestic agenda, which was reflected in his campaign speeches.
Okay. So, but Ambassador Tripathi, world leaders congratulated Trump on his big win. I'd like to understand from you, sir, what Trump 2.0 means for India and for the world.
Well, as I said, for India, it's a mixed bag. India is going to suffer on account of less number of H-1B visa being opened for Indians. It is for everybody, for all our countries, but India suffers in that. And then anti-dumping duties. If you remember, during his last days, Trump imposed anti-dumping duties on as many as 27 Indian commodities: steel, aluminium, etc., etc. For other parts, of course, China is not going to feel very happy about it. Though Global Times has congratulated, and Global Times has hoped that Trump's victory will start a new chapter in China-US relationship. Putin has yet to congratulate. Zelensky has said, "Okay, I am happy that we met before the election, and now I hope that President Trump will understand our point of view."
Do you think China and US dynamics will change now?
Yes, I think China and US relations will be a little will receive a little shock. It will not be as good as they were in Biden's time, because because China because Trump has uh, rescinded the agreement between with China uh, for business for trade, and he is not going to put China again on board for that. So China will suffer, and not only Chinese trade, but Chinese immigrants will also suffer, also take a beating in Trump's time. It is yet to be seen whether Trump will be able to alienate Russia from China, as people have been saying that Russia was a good friend of Trump, Putin was a good friend of Trump. But if he is able to do that, then that will also be a better thing for India. Pakistan has its own problems, and I think Trump will go harder on Pakistan as well in
Okay.
name of control, anti-terrorism or control of terrorist activities.
Okay, sir. Professor, so talking about India-US relations, in the past, Trump has made it clear that he plans to build on his past relations with India, focusing on strengthening trade ties. Then you have increasing technology access for Indians. So do you think there are several reasons for the Indian government to be delighted with Trump's win?
I think India, obviously, Prime Minister Modi congratulated on Trump's victory at the Hastings, and I think it's very clear that if you look at the past 20-25 years, irrespective of administrations, Democrats or the Republicans, I think all of them have really urged and worked towards a better relationship, a stronger relationship with India, and I think that trajectory, in fact, will move ahead during Trump 2.0. And if you look at in fact Trump 1.0, there were many decisions which in fact Trump himself invested his political capital in, and led to a much stronger sort of relationship. In fact, Quad was revived during President Trump's time, and I think Trump 2.0 will see much more stronger relationship with India, focusing on Indo-Pacific, increasing our economic linkages, and I think technology partnership. I think that is really the frontier area for the Americans and for Indians. US, for obviously it is about make MAGA, it's about make America great again, and in technology is the frontier through which America really wants, or Trump looks at, it's really the new leverage in the geopolitical competition with China, and India is seen increasingly as a key partner. The whole ISET sort of agreement which we have with the Americans, I think India and America both will double down on it, and I think we are really going to have a very sort of solid partnership, and again propelled by the personal chemistry between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump. I mean, each of them calling really, them as a friend, and really looking forward to close interaction later.
As we wrap up this discussion, Ambassador, what do you think will be the biggest difference between Trump 1.0 and Trump 2.0? How will his second presidency differ from the first, sir?
Well, yes, it will be going by his victory speech. I think Trump has learned a lot from his defeat. Though in the campaign he had been saying that I made a mistake by quitting the White House, but I think now he is again going to be in the White House. He will be a better person. He was more sober. He will listen to his advisors, which he did not used to.
Okay.
Because earlier, whatever the advisor told, he just used to speak by heart, and then his advisors, the state office and other officers, had to salvage the situation. Now this time he will be better. Probably during the 4 years out of office, he has learned, he has realized how to take up the responsibility of a president, because
Okay.
it's not a business, like it's not like CEO of a business. In the government, the decision-taking process is different than it is in business. So now I think he will be better, and let us hope that he will take not only America for a better future, but he will also try to make peace, try to make world safer.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So, with Donald Trump's victory in the 2024 US election, a new chapter begins for the United States. His promises to strengthen trade, energy independence, and national security will shape global dynamics in the years to come. The road ahead is crucial, and we will be watching closely as it unfolds. With that, we wrap up this edition of Perspective. Thank you, Ambassador Tripathi and Professor, for joining us today. And to our viewers, that is all I have for you for now. Stay tuned and thank you for watching Sansad TV.
To watch more programs of Sansad TV, subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to like and share them.